25, code 6, 105 North Avenue, 52.
Call to get any Hollenbeck unit on that turbo 600 North Mont.
In this episode of Paranormal 911.
We don't know what to expect when we go through that threshold.
My expectations were, this guy has to be dead.
Hey, bud.
The psychiatric patient was off his medications. What in the hell did I just see?
I felt this prickling energy. Boom!
This thing was ready to harm us.
All I could think of was that it had to be a demon possession.
911, please state your emergency.
What's your emergency?
Guy just crashed his truck. I think he's all messed up.
That's a single vehicle accident?
Yeah, just the one truck. He might have been drunk. He was weaving all over, almost ran into me.
Okay, emergency responders are being notified. What's the location of the accident?
The car is near Rural Road 49.
Copy, we're on the way.
Volunteer EMT Rob Thompson responds to the 911 call and races to the scene of a single vehicle accident.
One-car motor vehicle accident with entrapment and possible fire. It doesn't get more of an emergency than that. Every second is absolutely crucial.
How close are we?
Less than a minute.
As soon as we arrived on scene, I knew that every second counted. My first thoughts seeing the vehicle were burns, internal trauma, head wounds, loss of blood.
It's difficult to assess traumatic head injuries in the field,
He's not responsive.
but it's clear that this patient is in a near-death condition, so Thompson must act swiftly.
My expectations when I reached in to grab a pulse were, this guy has to be dead. Who could have survived this? And I felt a weak pulse.
Let's get you out. God. Careful on the doors, the cars are hot. Yeah, I'm gonna need adrenaline, a mask.
100 mg being prepped.
First thing was the smell of alcohol. It was coming out of the blood. The whole vehicle stank of alcohol. That was one of the things that first hit me.
Yeah, I'm gonna need burn cream too. This is bad. I'm gonna need burn
ETOH?
cream as well.
Yep.
Out of nowhere, Thompson is overwhelmed by a powerful, unseen force emanating from his critically injured patient.
I felt this prickling energy going up my arm and down my spine. Like I'd never felt before.
Rob, are you okay? Are you okay?
It was very hard to explain.
Rob, are you okay? We have to extricate him. We have to extricate him.
We gotta get him out of here.
Yep.
We gotta get him out now.
The severely damaged vehicle catches on fire. They must get him out now.
My partner and I immediately started to gently but speedily extricate him from the vehicle.
The emergency workers know that they only have mere moments to save his life.
We began doing the assessment, checking his airway was open, checking that he had breathing, which he wasn't.
Stay with me here, Chief.
Losing his pulse here.
Yeah, it's getting low. Start with the air.
We immediately had a clear airway, hooked him up to a bag valve.
Keep going.
32.
The patient was simply unresponsive. His heart rate was dropping and stopping and starting and stopping. So he was technically dead. We realized that we could lose him at any second.
The window is rapidly closing for Thompson to bring the man back from the edge of death.
Get his legs set up. All right, buddy, come on.
And death may be even closer than he knows.
Stay with me here, Chief.
As he battles to save his rapidly fading patient, Thompson is once again tormented by an unseen, disturbing energy.
Again, I'm feeling this prickly static, and it's going up my arms, it's going down my spine, it's to my toes, and it's not subsiding. I literally felt like a transference of energy coming through.
Rob, what is going on?
Rob feels some kind of energy transference rising through his hands and into his arms. It's entirely possible that this energy originated with his patient, that some of his spiritual energy was being transferred into Rob while he performed that most sacred of responsibilities, trying to save his life.
Rob, I need you on concussions. We're losing him here.
Overcome by the powerful, invisible force, Thompson struggles to administer the life-saving chest compressions.
What the hell is going on right now? This next part is something that stays with me and will stay with me for absolutely ever. I saw someone next to me. I mean, they were leaning in. It just gripped me. It gripped me like I've never felt anything before. I felt like I felt like I was starting to lose my mind.
Rob!
Copy, we're on the way.
Paramedic EMT Rob Thompson responds to a 911 call of an impaired driver who's crashed his vehicle. Once on scene, Thompson is overcome by a strange energy.
I felt this prickling energy going up my arm and down my spine.
His trance is only shattered when the damaged vehicle bursts into flames.
We gotta get him out. We gotta get him out now.
While desperately trying to save the dying man's life, a foreboding, shadowy figure emerges from the wreckage, revealing itself to the terrified 911 responder.
It felt like I was being invaded. It felt like I was being pulled down a vortex, and it really wasn't a pleasant experience. This was something very, very unique that I'd never felt before.
Rob!
Don't do this!
I felt a voice come into me and say, "Don't save me. I want to go." Something wanted me to stop. I knew then that the person who wanted me to stop was the patient. He wanted to go.
Get a hold of yourself. We need to move him now.
I gotta save this man's life. I can't be feeling this. I'm pushing, trying to push myself, snap myself out of this, and it's just not going away.
I believe that his patient was out of his body and was actually a third-party observer to what was happening. He was standing there right next to Rob as he tried to repair his broken body.
We did regain a pulse, and immediately we started to get semi-voluntary breathing.
With the patient stabilized enough to transport, Thompson is still bewildered by what he's experienced here.
My mind was racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour in a million different directions. In all my years working as an EMT, I'd never felt anything like this.
Suddenly, the patient's condition plummets to critical levels.
I'm losing him in here. I gotta defibrillate him.
As Thompson prepares to shock his patient back to life, he's stunned by a powerful charge that doesn't emanate from his medical equipment.
Like I grabbed hold of a live wire, went right into my body, and boom. It felt like spirit was picking me up and shaking me. I felt this massive surge of energy leave me. The energy was going back and forth between us, back and forth.
Despite the all-out assault from the victim's angry spirit, Thompson is still determined to save this young man's life.
Come on! Between the rhythm and the flatlining and the rhythm, and it happened 2 or 3 times on the way. It was like being hit by a freight train.
This is a highly emotionally charged scene, and as Rob works to save his patient's life, there is an energy transfer between the two men. It's a byproduct of the intense emotion that is being felt by both individuals.
Thompson finally arrives at the hospital with his patient stabilized.
Why is it that that just happened to me and no one else felt? Nothing else like that happened to any of us.
A traumatic experience such as the one Rob just underwent could have been the catalyst to unlock latent psychic abilities that he never knew that he had, laying dormant for his entire life, just waiting for the right circumstance and the right patient to arrive.
That moment changed something inside me forever. I realized at that point that I had a gift.
But the true outcome of Thompson's newly discovered ability would not reveal itself until years later. Years after this traumatic experience drove him from his work as a first responder, a chance encounter brings it full circle.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Hi, Rob. Nice to meet you.
I felt this like familiarity, like not like you feel with a friend, but like your father, and I could not explain it. As soon as I touched him, that same tingle, his spine. That prickly, and I went like that. I took it back. Boom.
Have we met? You were in an accident 3 years ago.
And his eyes went like saucers.
You almost died.
And I could see he was, getting emotional telling this. He was the guy I'd been working on. He had been inside my physical body. He had looked at us working on him through this,
That was you?
I lost it, and he lost it. And we both started crying.
You look great. Thanks. Yeah. You healed up beautifully. The scars, it took some time, but, back on my feet. So good. That was...
It felt, in that moment, like 20 minutes passed. We were just staring at each other.
I'll never forget that night. I really won't. Why? Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. That was the scariest night.
You can either go through life seeing those signs, or you can go through life wearing blinkers and believing that, nope, bricks and mortar, solid in front of me, otherwise it doesn't exist.
Look great. It's good to see that you healed up so well.
But my advice is to look deeper and to look into yourself and to be aware that there's a lot more going on around you than you realize. I feel that energy, good and bad, okay, has the potential of raising us as a soul, as a spirit, as a human being with this life experience. And I believe that that's exactly what happened to me. And since then, I have had numerous such experiences, but that's what triggered it all.
Thompson lost contact with his patient after their chance meeting. He stopped working as an EMT and is now committed to investigating the paranormal world.
No, I don't want to. Christ!
911, what's your emergency?
There's a man. I think he's broken into the house.
Into your house, sir?
No, the abandoned house across the street. Please send somebody, hurry!
Reported disturbance and possible break and enter in the Greensboro area. Please respond. Over.
Copy that. This is 16. Send that address over.
So far, it's been an uneventful night for veteran police officer Vicky Schramm, but that is all about to change.
I had always thought about being a police officer. I did 6 months in the police academy, which was the hardest 6 months of my life. It was a dream come true, but it was a hard road to get there.
I know this place.
The intruder 911 call takes them to an abandoned house, a house Schramm knows well.
I grew up right down the street from that house, so we knew the area, we knew where the abandoned houses were.
Dark rumors have swirled about this home after its last inhabitants disappeared without a trace.
One night, they packed up all their stuff in a U-Haul and away they went, and nobody knew why they left.
Intruder alerts demand that officers be extra cautious, especially in uncontrolled spaces like this. Officer Schramm discovers that the door is unlocked.
Toledo Police Department.
Prepared to encounter just about anything, they enter the home.
We go straight into the kitchen.
God, it's hot as hell in here.
We were hit with a sudden wave of heat.
What the hell?
There was no electricity. We assumed there was no gas.
As quickly as the temperature spiked up, it snaps back to sub-zero.
What the hell?
You gotta be ready for a fight.
In the darkened corner of the room, Officer Schramm finds an antique rifle. that smells of fresh gunpowder, as though shot just a short time ago.
Take a look over here.
Then she's drawn to something more disturbing. Next to what appears to be a Civil War military jacket is a blood-stained rag, still damp to the touch.
We hear somebody running across the floor. It's loud. It's not like soft steps, it's loud.
It's clear to Schramm that there is an intruder somewhere in this abandoned home. Now, they're in pursuit.
I have my gun trained on the stairs so that nobody's gonna come down and surprise us.
The sounds lead the officers to the dimly lit second floor, limiting the intruders and theirs path for escape.
It sounded like they ran from the stairs back into the back bedroom. But we still have to clear everything else first because we're not sure who else is in there.
Toledo Police Department, come out with your hands up! You heard that?
Certain that they're closing in on the trespasser, the officers descend upon a bedroom at the end of the hall.
As we're going into the third bedroom, we hear the same kind of footsteps, boom, 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 across the floor. I know that there's somebody in there. I know I'm gonna find somebody.
The only concealment spot for an intruder in this bedroom is in the closet.
I am 100% sure that this man is hiding in this closet. Shine my flashlight in there and my gun, and nobody's in there. It makes no sense that somebody made that loud of footsteps for somebody to not be upstairs. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up because I knew nobody got past us.
Although they've found no living person, Officer Schramm discovers a second disturbing indication of recent violence. The mystery deepens when she spots a bullet, likely from the recently fired rifle downstairs.
We were both actually scared because this wasn't making any kind of sense whatsoever.
All clear? Yeah, clear. Okay, I'm gonna go check out this one.
As her partner searches another part of the house, Schramm is drawn to a box. Inside are photos and letters dating back to the 1800s.
Stephanie? All good.
But now, the elusive intruder is back.
My gut instinct was this thing was ready to harm us because it just felt like it was not a friendly thing that was going on in this house.
I'm gonna clear in here. You check downstairs. Okay.
It wanted us to hear the footsteps across the floor upstairs, and it wanted us to hear the footsteps downstairs. That's not normal. And that's something that kicks your brain into gear that something abnormal is happening in this house.
Officer Schramm is now alone on the second floor. Her only escape is back the way she came. police officer Vicky Schramm has responded to a 911 call of a gun-wielding intruder in an abandoned home.
Toledo Police Department.
Discovery of bloody rags and unexplained activity have led them deep into the bowels of the house, pursuing the mysterious intruder. Now, Officer Schramm's only escape route has been cut off by a terrifying entity.
My mind started spinning into what just happened. The hair on the back of my neck was up because there's something here, but we don't know what it is. It's like, is this house haunted?
I believe in this certain situation, we're dealing with an intelligent haunting. We have a spirit that's present, and he's doing an awful lot of physical things to try to most likely scare these people out of the space that he's occupying.
I heard footsteps down the stairs.
Step!
I was like, what is here? Because it's not a person.
Anything? Nothing. I don't know what the hell's going on.
They don't train you about paranormal when you're in the police academy. We were both actually scared because this wasn't making any kind of sense whatsoever.
You okay? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. What is that? I don't know. I don't know. Where's that coming from?
And then we heard this laugh, and it was like a low key, like a low tone laugh.
Oh my, no. Check that door.
Your mind is thinking, we have to exit this house.
It's locked. What? We can't get out.
But then when we got to the back door and it was locked, then it was like, oh my God.
What the hell is that? I don't know.
We know nobody got by us. We never saw anybody downstairs.
Oh, in there, come on.
The officer's only escape from this madness is back through the abandoned home. Directly to the source of the chilling laughter. When they witness a terrifying manifestation. Desperate to escape, Schramm blasts the door open and takes position to battle whatever may follow them out.
There was no logical explanation to what happened in this house.
Get the hell out of here.
After this horrifying night, Schramm desperately searches for an explanation for the incomprehensible things she's experienced.
There was Civil War battles fought in that area on both sides of the river. So it's possible that somebody's hanging around and they're upset about whatever happened to them in that area.
At a lot of locations, the ghost may have been there long before the structure was even built. And anybody coming into that location then would be really intruding on their private space.
Everybody experiences fear at some time or another, but this is a different kind of fear because it's the unknown. It was a abnormal experience that happened in this house. We knew that if we told other officers what we experienced in that house, that our credibility would be out the window. I got on the mic and I said that there was no body there. There is obviously something out there. I don't know what it is, and I'll probably never know. But it leaves you thinking there has got to be something else besides the physical that's going on in this world. You think it's not possible. However, it is possible because it happened to me.
Officer Schramm and her partner never reported this incident to their superiors for fear of reprisal. Several months later, she retired from the police force and now uses her skills to investigate the paranormal.
Mark, honey. Mark, Mark, you gotta talk to me. What's going on? Mark, sweetie, where are your meds? Mark, honey. What's going on? You gotta talk to me here, Mark. Mark, please talk to me! What's going on? Mark, what's going on?
911, what's your emergency?
It's my husband. I don't think he's taking his medication. Something's happening to him.
What's happening?
I don't know. He's just not him. Send somebody, please.
916, we have a code 3. Male psychotic break, approach with extreme caution.
Copy that. What's the location? Over.
1414 Lindstone Avenue.
Let's go.
Paramedic Jackie Williams and partner respond to a frantic 911 call that could put them in peril.
In terms of violence with psychiatric calls, it's about a 50-50. Some just need a ride to the hospital because they're sad, depressed. Others are in psychosis and having some serious mental issues, and those are the ones who need to be restrained and can be very violent. One of the reasons I wanted to get into this line of work was to help more people. I started out as a firefighter, and I noticed the ambulance was doing more calls than we were, and I wanted to do calls. So EMT course come up, I took it, got a job doing that, loved it, went on to paramedic school, and just stuck with it.
You all set, partner?
The paramedics are racing to a Code 3 call.
Okay, let's do it.
These calls can be dangerous, so police are also on scene.
What do we have?
Some sort of psychosis.
Okay.
No one seems to be hurt. We've got 2 people upstairs with the wife, and she made the call.
Okay.
Things that's going through my mind is how violent can this patient get, or is it just somebody that's, I'm sad, I need to go to the hospital, or I'm out of medications.
Has your husband taken his medication today?
No.
I forget the medication, but she told me it was for schizophrenia.
Has he ever missed it before?
Yes. But this is different. He was making these strange noises. I've never seen him turn like this before, and I can always bring him back.
May I see him?
William specializes in dealing with patients in possible psychosis. His approach, go in calm and only escalate if things turn violent.
We'll follow you. No, I don't want to scare him. I'll let you know if I need you. Hi, Mark.
So people with this kind of condition, you don't want to overwhelm them or appear threatening.
I'm Jackie. I'm a paramedic.
He had a suitcase open and was walking to and from the closet like he's packing like he was going on a trip. Very frantically, very manically.
Hey, bud. How you doing?
It was obvious that he didn't even know that I was in the room.
What you doing, bud? My name's Jackie. I'm a paramedic. I just want to talk with you. Is that okay?
Ultimate end goal with a patient like that would be just to calmly have him talk with us and get onto our cot with no trouble, no fighting, and get him safely to the hospital and get him the help he needs.
Looks like you're packing for a trip. Going somewhere?
He turned 90 degrees and looked at me.
Please leave. You can't help me. Lisa said maybe you forgot to take your medication today. Does that sound right with you?
Please, take her and get out of here. Save yourself.
Leave. Mark, are you feeling okay?
Suddenly, the manic patient takes an evil turn. Then, the disturbed man begins an alarming, shocking metamorphosis.
His chin elongated, his cheekbones kind of become more developed, and his forehead got larger. All I could think of was that it had to be a demon possession.
Paramedic Jackie Williams is raced to a 911 call of a disturbed, violent man. Williams finds him in what appears to be a near-psychotic state, but is confronted with a shocking physical transformation that leaves him with only one conclusion.
All I could think of was that it had to be a demon possession. He grabbed my uniform and ripped it.
Hey, I need you to calm down for me, okay? Hey!
Hit me with enough force to go into the wall, broke the sheetrock. Suddenly I saw that there was something coming out of his shoulders. He had some translucent wings behind him.
Jackie reports seeing wings sprout from this person's back, and in very extreme possessions, things like this are actually quite common. The spirit might be trying to show its true form, especially if there's someone at the scene who's offering help or assistance. It's going to make itself as threatening as possible, as frightening as possible.
This once seemingly typical psychiatric call has transformed into a violent nightmare.
What in the hell did I just see?
And as quickly as the patient morphed into a demonic creature, he reverts back to human form. But the attack is far from over.
I need you to calm down.
Okay, man. When my partner and police come in to help me with the fight to get the guy off me, the wings weren't there. It was like he was just back to his normal body.
Wait! I've had enough of this.
Get the stretcher!
To them, it was just a psych call gone bad.
After subduing and sedating the violent patient, the paramedics extract him from the home.
He's okay now.
I'm not.
What the hell happened in there, man?
I couldn't begin to explain it. I don't know.
Look at your arm.
I noticed that there was 3 scratches on my arm. So I looked at my coat, and I'm like, am I gonna need a new coat as well? And I looked. Not a scratch mark on it.
I can't begin to explain it. Let's just get this guy out of here, okay?
Scratches are often associated with demonic activity, especially where there are 3 scratches, because 3 is a mockery of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, the Trinity.
I believe that it was a demon possession, and was his actual mental illness. And he was taking the medications to calm the demon inside.
As paramedics prepare to take this disturbed patient to hospital, Jackie can't help but reflect on how close he came to dying today.
I have all this training. I have police department there. I have my partner there. And it still couldn't protect me from all this evil.
Williams now realizes that there are things beyond this realm that are not only among us, but can destroy us.
This experience helped me to come to realize that demons are real, and that is what I saw was a demon.
Whoa! Whoa!
The terrifying incident has never been explained, and both Williams and the patient recovered fully. Williams continues to serve as a paramedic and has never had a demonic encounter again.